All right, everybody. I've got Xavier Restrepo here. Xavier, what's going on, man?
How you doing, Chris?
Good, man. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're taking the time to do this. There's a lot to get into, and for people that are interested in kind of supporting Xavier in this NIL stuff, he's got that XR7 collection. You can go get shirts and hats over at Caneswear, and there's some other stuff we can talk about, Xavier. But I want to kind of get into a little bit of starting with your fanfare a little bit, just in general. A lot of people are excited about you, and one thing that stands out to me is your connection to the community, whether it's the backpack giveaways you've done, or gift cards, or taking photos with fans, and just anything like that. Why is that important to you, and have you been kind of feeling that attention from the fans since you've been at UM?
Yes, sir. Well, there's no better feeling than just having a great support system, family and stuff like that. And then on top of that, just a great fan base. They make me feel so welcome and just so like needed. That's the reason why I obviously came to Miami, is because I felt like Miami needed me, and they wanted me bad. And I just can't thank the fans enough for welcoming me. It's just been a great experience, and taking pictures and all that stuff, giveaways and stuff like that. When I was a kid, I always wanted, to have like one of the well-known guys, come up to me and take a picture and stuff like that. So whenever I see, like a little kid or like a family, just asking me for like a picture, like a signature or whatever at games, I stop in a heartbeat, because I know how much that means to them. And I was there before, I was there once. I was in their shoes once, so I know exactly how they feel. And yeah, it doesn't hurt to stop for 2 seconds and just say what's up and have a conversation.
And I think just kind of your attitude towards it, again, your abilities on the field and the way your work ethic. I want to get into that a little bit later, but I think I understand why the fans are kind of excited about you, and whether it's interactions or kind of just seeing you from afar. Xavier, this past season for you, second year, I'm curious about what it was like for you, just that elevated role. That's what everyone wants for that second year. You averaged, 25 snaps a game, kind of a lead guy, one of those lead guys in the offense, very competitive. You almost had a catch in every game. What was it like for you just having that larger role? Obviously, clearly you worked hard for it.
Oh yeah, well, I definitely did have a bigger role than last year, but it's nothing, nowhere near than what I expect. So this year I'm just gonna make sure that I'm fully ready and fully prepared for whatever the coach has in store for me. And whatever you saw, this year, it's just a little taste of what's gonna come up in the near future for sure.
The way your season started, with the way the team started, against Alabama, and I know the game got out of hand there, but that touchdown for you personally, and again, I talked to a number of guys. They say they're always confident and with whatever they're doing, but did that give you a little bit more, extra confidence? Your first touchdown, the fact that you did against that team, again, game was out of hand with the score, but I'm assuming that had to have felt good. Was that something that you felt like you needed? I know you'd probably hate to go too many games without getting in the end zone to start a
Mhm.
career. But how big was that, you think, for your confidence and for the season you had here?
Oh yeah, at the moment I obviously wasn't thinking about that, because exactly what you said, we lost and stuff like that. But I mean, it definitely boosted my confidence a little bit. I mean, I've always, I don't mean to sound like arrogant or whatever, but I've been doing this my whole life. Like I've been, it came down to a one-on-one matchup. Yeah, there's 11 guys on one side, 11 guys on another, but once the ball snapped, it was one-on-one coverage. And you know we work for stuff like that. That's a receiver's favorite look, is one-on-one coverage. And great ball by De'Ara, great blocking by the offensive line, and just dropped right in my hands. And yeah, no, it definitely felt great. But like I said, I've been doing this my whole life, so I kind of expected that.
Yeah, and it felt like just kind of falling in, fall camp, whether, kind of even going back to the spring, it just felt like, and I know the coaches have said this too, the scrimmages, whatever it might be with that live action and practices, you were producing. It seemed like
Yes.
they kept saying, you were making plays. So maybe the outside looking in, maybe a little surprised, but I think that, to me, it seems like those performances were starting to add up in practices, and it probably felt like it was only a matter of time it would translate to game production as well.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The what do you think that and kind of just more production, kind of looking at your season here, that Pittsburgh game, what was that like to be a part of, the way the offenses are going back and forth? They're a ranked
Mhm.
team, seeing Tyler do well, but those were your highest production of your career at this point, 7 catches, 89 yards, just
Mhm.
real active. What was that game like to be a part of there?
Well, that I could say, it was probably for me and for like some of the guys that I talked with, one of our funnest games. We had so much fun that game. Just going back with a great team, ACC championship, ACC champions. Pitt. They were a great team, and just to come out in first 3 drives, just put touchdowns on the board was just a great feeling to start. And then just going back and forth with them every single drive, and then coming down to the last drive when Tyler's backed up, throws a little stop route to Rambo right past the first down, and got the chains of them, and we know we were going to win the game. It was just such a good feeling, and it was a really fun game, for the
Is
whole
there,
entire team.
yeah, definitely. And look, every game's a learning experience. I'm not trying to diminish all of the games, but there's three that stand out to me, and one of them's that Pittsburgh game, and the way that many of you could use the games moving forward. Like you said,
Mhm.
ACC championship, uh, that team. You can take positivity from that, and then also I think that Alabama game and even that Michigan State game from last season, even though it didn't go your way, you guys, I felt like you can understand what it takes to kind of get to that level when you face those teams. Maybe
Oh yeah,
talk
for
about what those three games, different results, but maybe how those can kind of propel you guys in the off season as you work towards a big 22 season.
oh yeah, no, for sure. Just the great saying, learn from your mistakes. All our mistakes that we had in those games last year or this year, we could definitely bounce back on them. Watch film, that's all you can really do. Watch film and then just get a whole bunch of repetition of just doing everything perfect, so that when you do get in the game, it's kind of muscle memory.
How much fun did you have in seeing what Tyler was able to do? Roommate, obviously a quarterback. Just how much fun did you have kind of watching him do what he did this past year?
Oh yeah, well, I mean, just to see him, ball out and just go crazy on national television. It's just a great feeling, as a friend, as a roommate, growing up with him in college, like growing with him. It's just, me and him put work in every single night, and what people don't see, and it's just a great feeling because like I know that he could do this, and he got his opportunity, and sure enough, it took a couple games, and that's it. It's just it's over now for the rest of college football.
And you guys came in together in that same class, that 2020 class. First impression of Tyler. When did you first meet him? Did you know him as a recruit? When did you first meet him, and what was your maybe first
Well, yeah,
impression?
we went to Paradise Camp actually. That's the first time I met him in person. We were always texting on Instagram because he's my quarterback. So I wanted to make sure I got a good relationship with him. Um, Paradise Camp of 2019. Whatever, we competed. We had that big dinner at Hard Rock, and yeah, no, we were just talking. Me and him sitting together, our families sitting together, talking, chatting it up, and just whatever. We just created our friendship right there, and now it's like a brothership. It's not even a friendship. Like he knows that I got him and he got me, so it
What,
feels good.
yeah, what was it for you when you felt like, hey, whenever this guy gets his opportunity, whenever that might be, he's going to be fine. He's going to be good. When did you think he was going? When did it kind of click for you that you felt like your confidence in him, and maybe that you were seeing either on field or maybe even thought about it, stuff you saw at the high school level, if you watched any of his stuff there?
Well, yeah, when I saw his high school level, I mean, high school tape, I'm like, wow, this kid could throw. And as soon as we got to school, me and him put in extra work, like I said, every single night. I'm like, dude, like this kid has an arm, you know. And then, leading into spring camp, we were like that group. Like when Coach called our group, it was me, him, Michael Redding, and Jalen Worsham and Keyshawn Smith. It was us like five right there, and just going practice with them, competing with him. You know, 1 minute drills, him coming to me when he needs it. Just building that trust, day after day, week after week. Yeah, I mean, I already knew he could do this just because it's high school film, but when I saw it in person, I was like, sheesh, like this kid's dangerous.
That group you mentioned, how close are you guys? I know Redding was a guy that you were stayed
Mhm.
with as well. What's that like? Because again, we kind of heard in the, obviously your work ethic, and I want to get into that. I want to make sure we talk about that a little
Mhm.
bit later. But we heard that about Tyler too. His off-season workouts and pressing and those kind of things. What is it about that group of you guys there? And essentially, how do you guys push each other? Is it something that you feel like you guys kind of feed off each other?
Oh yeah, well, I for sure think it's just like a natural competition 24/7. Whether we're at the house playing video games or we're in workouts doing reps. It's just always competing. We'll be walking us three, and we'll just pick up rocks and try to hit like signs and stuff. Just like just out of competitive nature. And I feel like that's why I'm so close with them because they're kind of like the same people, the same person I am. I love to compete and I hate losing. I hate losing more than I love winning. So, I mean,
Yeah, definitely. How's the gaming going? What games are you playing? You doing Fortnite? Is Reading?
oh yeah,
What do
for
you guys
sure.
what are you guys kind of into lately?
Yeah, no. We used to play Fortnite. We always played Madden. I mean, Madden's a must. Stay in football or whatever. So Madden's a must. I never lose in Madden though, so I don't know the feeling of losing. But Fortnite's good. We play a little squad and stuff like that. Daz, Zaylen Worsham, he comes and joins us once every while. But yeah, I mean, it's going good.
There's a lot of receivers to talk about, but can you talk more about how Mike and Daz are doing? Obviously, we haven't seen a lot of them in game action. I know Mike's kind of been in there, but Daz, primarily on that scout. How are those two guys kind of progress? How are they doing?
Well, yeah, well, Mike got the injury. He got the surgery or whatever, so that's why he's out. But he's coming back. He's determined, focused, working hard, and I'm just keep talking to him every single day. Letting him know that like when it's your time, I already know what you're gonna do. Like just keep on developing as a person, most importantly, but as a player as well. Watch film, make sure you stand in the film, and the Zalen's had probably the biggest jump that I've ever seen. From our true freshman year to our COVID year, freshman year. He's grown as a player, as a person, and he's ready. He's ready. He looks real good. That's another person. I call him at 10 o'clock at night, tell him meet me in the indoor. He's there. Like he's ready to put in work, and he's one of my guys.
What was how can you, we probably asked you this throughout the year at the beginning, especially fall camp stuff, but just the competition at receiver, those are a couple guys. But again, you get that new group, those three freshmen, you probably feel like you're still a young guy. Obviously you are, but these guys are coming in there trying to press for playing time. And obviously at the time, Mark and D had playing time as well. Just what was all that like, and obviously with Harley and Rambo too, but just the competition at receiver, how can you kind of explain what it was like? And essentially, the keys for you to like I said at the beginning, just to kind of establish yourself as one of those guys.
Well, it was fun. It was fun, and my dad always taught me growing up, just outcompete the guy next to you. So that's definitely what I took the mindset in going into fall camp was just outcompete everybody, every single person in front of you, no matter who it is. Friends off the field. When you're on the field, it's business, and it's time. And just going through spring with them in fall camp, it was fun. It was real fun. We always competed at a high level and held each other accountable. So it was fun.
So Mario Cristobal gets named head coach. What was your reaction? And I know there was obviously a lot of talk leading up to it. So I'm kind of curious how it's as a player, how you process what information is real and not, and what was that like for you? And then obviously when it became official, kind of your reaction of him and maybe what you knew of him before.
Well, yeah. I mean, Coach Diaz was a great coach, and I love him to death for giving me this opportunity to come play at the school. But Mario Cristobal, Coach Cristobal, he recruited me in high school, and we had a pretty good relationship. So when he came here or whatever, saw him, I just got done speaking with him the other day, just chopping it up, just like about normal life stuff. And he's a great guy. Obviously his coaching speaks for itself. And yeah, no, most importantly, he's just a great guy, and he's just a guy you could go always up to and talk about anything, and I feel real comfortable with him, and I can't wait to, step on the field with him this year.
Yeah, was there something that you remember about him? You said he kind of recruited you and stuff. Was there something that stood out to you, even though you didn't obviously go to play for him out of high school?
Well, yeah, same thing, just welcoming, it's a warm welcome every single time you speak to him. He just has that personality, that character trait about him that, like, just be comfortable around him. And just, one thing I really learned from him is just respect and work hard. That's it. That's all he really wants out of you. Just give everything you have.
And certainly, it's just a difficult thing in sports for any team. Doesn't matter what level, high school, it doesn't matter if it's college, pro, doesn't matter if it's football or any of those sports. It's always difficult when a coaching change happens.
For sure.
And it's just an adjustment period for a lot of people. But what was your impression, maybe as the team meeting, the first time he kind of addressed the team? What was your kind of takeaways? Like you said, you already knew him a little bit, but just how do you think that went? What was kind of the reaction? What do you think of how that went at his first kind of the way he addressed the team there?
Oh yeah, well, I mean, as soon as he addressed the team a little bit before, that's when we found out that Coach Diaz had been fired, and well, not fired, but like released and stuff. And yeah, I mean, he came in. Coach Cristobal came in the room, and he was, he spoke about, just, it's tough with the coaching changes and stuff like that, but that he has us and that he's going to give every single ounce of energy into this program. So I felt like the guys were a little quiet because of of everything they have to gather and go through their like process and stuff through their mind. But the guys definitely on the team looked at him as like the alpha male in the room, the chief, and just we're listening to every single word he was saying.
So Xavier, your work ethic, and you touched on kind of advice your father gave you. I read something that your mother had said to you, work hard now, play, or have fun later, kind of a thing. Where does that stem from, or how far back are we talking about that kind of messaging was given to you, whether it was from your mother or your dad, just those kind of messages? When do you kind of remember those resonating with you?
I mean, I remember it the most, going into high school, like before my freshman year, just because like that's when football like really changed for me. Everything was about business from there on out. And I've always had fun, through my whole life playing football. But yeah, I really remember those things coming from before freshman year of high school, and just preparing, just getting ready, being the best me possible. And yeah.
I think for any player, the kind of the things people say about you, the way they describe your game. I touched on the work ethic. They say you have a love for the game. We touched on your competitiveness. All of those things seem to be what every athlete is striving to have. It seems to be such a key ingredient for success at whatever level you're at. The love of the game part, Xavier, how would you describe it? I think all players, they can say they love the game, but can you give examples of what that means to you and your love of the game of football?
Sheesh, it's a big topic to speak on, because
Yeah.
the love that I have for the game is truly undescribable. I really don't even know where to start with it. It's just, I mean, I don't want to say it's everything I have, but it's close to there, Without football, I really don't know where my life would be right now. I mean, yeah, just the love I have for the game is just the same love I have like for my mom and my dad, is like that undescribable love, the like I'll do anything for it, and I feel like I'll really die for this game, and if I do die on the football field, I'll be perfectly fine with that, knock on wood, but I mean, yes, it's that serious. Like I really love football.
How much are you consuming? Because I've talked to players over the years, some players play it, but they don't watch it. They don't take it in like that. Obviously you're into the playbook thing, but like the extra stuff, is it game? Are you watching games all the time, NFL or whatever level, kind of being at the park, picking up a football? Are you doing a lot of extra stuff? What kind of examples do you have of the game and kind of your investment into the game there?
Oh yeah, well, anybody could tell you, anybody, anytime you see me out, when I'm just chilling at the house or whatever, I always have a football somewhere around me, whether I'm playing video games, the football's right there next to me on the couch. While I'm laying in bed, football's in the bed with me. When I'm walking around, football's around. My dad, actually, when I was younger, he's told me that I had to leave the football in the car because when we used to go into like Sports Authority and Dick's and stuff like that, they're gonna think I'm stealing it. But yeah, no, stuff like that. I watch a lot of film. I watch a lot of film. I feel like that's definitely a step I have on people is film watching, knowing the tendencies and all that stuff. And that just helps me. And, one thing my dad always told me also is that you got to give these people zero room for excuses, because obviously I have, not the physical features that everybody wants and stuff like that. So my dad just says, leave little room for error. So that's all I think about. So I just, take advantage of every single opportunity.
You touched on playing Madden. I'm curious, maybe this is the answer. What team you like to play, or what NFL teams do you like to watch? I've kind of read some stuff on, kind of just doing some research. I remember you saying Steve Smith was the guy that you love watching. I know many people that watched him in the NFL can appreciate that. Just are there other guys you enjoy watching? Are there teams you enjoy watching?
Oh yeah, well, for sure. I mean, I'm a Dolphins fan. I'm from Miami, but I love all the NFL teams. I know I train with a lot of guys, for example, just hot and ready right now, the guys that's hot around the league, Reverend Jordan and Elijah Moore, Elijah's killing it. And, I talk to Elijah, every once in a while, and we always just touch up on some things. I mean, I really watch everybody. I just love watching football. Like I have to watch football, at least some type of football every single day, and yeah, I just love watching everything. Just the art and the nature of football is just amazing to me.
With Elijah, do you have a good Elijah story? Kind of what was like playing with him? What did you see? And again, we could probably do the, whether it was Tyler or these other guys that you played with at Aquinas or even at Deerfield, just if you saw it, I guess with Elijah, did you see him being what he has become?
I mean, yeah, no. Elijah was always nasty. He was always sick. When I actually transferred to St. Thomas, that's when he was leaving for Ole Miss, and I used to always watch his like IG lives because as soon as he got to college, he used to just go on IG live and just work out in the sandpit. So I always used to look up to him and stuff like that. And when we're at Goldfeet and stuff, I just like when I'm not going, I really sit and watch everything he's doing, because obviously production talks, and he's producing crazy right now in the NFL. And so, yeah, I just, whenever we're at training sessions or something like that, or when we're just chilling, I really listen to his mindset and just watch everything, like all his tendencies and stuff like that, just to become like the best me as possible. And obviously guys like Judy, C-Rid, Calvin Ridley, Benjamin Victor, all those guys like that, that I train with. I used to train at Tough with them, and Coach Love. I don't know if you know Coach Love or not, but track coach. Yeah, I just watch everything that those guys are do because those guys are great mentors. Those guys have been to every single type of level and produced well, on and off the field. So I kind of take after those guys.
So did you not overlap with Elijah at Aquinas?
Oh yeah. Well, whenever I got there, he would always come back for like final exams or something like that, or like I would always see him in the school, and we ran track together for a little bit with me, him, Tavares Kelly. He's at Virginia right now. Yeah, so we always, used to talk in hallways like that. I used to always like take Snapchat videos and stuff like funny videos or whatever. But yeah, we used to just have, cool, funny moments like that.
How would you kind of sum up your experience at Aquinas? Look, especially for people that don't live in Florida, that don't know what it's like at Aquinas. I mean, or even anybody that knows about it didn't play there. I mean, just how would you describe it? I would assume it's such a, competitive environment, not just with who you're going against, but again, kind of like what we talked about at Miami with different receivers. It's competitive on your own unit. You're not, just to get playing time. It just seems very competitive from that. And I assume it helped you prepare for college. But what was that experience to come up through or to play at that program?
Oh, for sure. St. Thomas is a very prestigious high school. Nationally. It's the coaching is obviously speaks for itself. The coaching very they have a lot of history. All the coaches and stuff like that. When you get there, it's very professional. Everything's professional. Everything you do, you have to make sure your face is clean shaved in school. Like you'll get like tensions and stuff like that for stuff like that. So it just teaches you how to be, a man and yeah, practice and stuff like that. It's kind of similar to college, very much, team scout. And then when you do compete, it's hard, as soon as I got there, I was a junior. I was playing with Jordan Battle, Jaden Davis, guys like that. So going one-on-ones every single day with those guys like that has just like molded me as a player,
Sure. Whether it was at anybody or at any place that you were at in high school and just kind of coming up, who was the toughest guy that you faced either maybe in practices? Like I said, it could be at any kind of level. You touched on a couple guys that you went up against there. Is there somebody that stands out to you? Is there stories that this guy just gave me a hard time or just the toughest competition in practices?
Oh yeah, well, nobody really gave me a hard time because I used to always give it to them too. But a guy that I used to go back and forth with every single day was definitely Jordan Battle. Jordan Battle is definitely one of the most skilled players I've ever versed in high school football. And at Deerfield, Christopher Townsend was also really, really good. Yeah, Christopher Townsend, he's at USF right now. But yeah, other than that, I've been through a lot of good guys, but the guys I would say is toughest for sure is Battle for sure.
Kind of going back before high school, the park you came up through, talk about that and maybe, and I know you played defense there in high school, but what positions were you kind of playing early on in your career, like right when you kind of were getting started in it?
Oh, well, I didn't start playing receiver till 10th grade. I always used to play safety, nickel, corner, running back, quarterback, stuff like that. And then I started playing receiver my 10th grade year. But yeah, I've started out at Coconut Creek Eagles up in Coconut Creek, Florida. I was actually going to sign up for flag football when I was like 5 years old, and a man of the name of Sean Hallis, Coach Hallis. He's really, I've known him to this day, talked to him to this day, go over their house. But he's been, a really, really big influence in my life because he grabbed, my parents were like, look, like I want him to play like tackle football, and that's when I started at the age of like 5. So played there. Played at PPO a little bit, 10U, played at PPO, and then I went to Deerfield Packer Rattlers, played there for a year, and then I went back to PPO to finish off my career, my Little League career. And then, yeah, so Coconut Creek, PPO, and Deerfield Packer Rattlers.
So we touched a little bit at the beginning of the NIL stuff with the XR7 collection. What else do you kind of got going on or maybe anything coming up, just kind of and then also what can you say about that collection as well for people?
Oh, for sure. Well, I'm definitely looking, me and Brett are into, making more clothes and more merchandise, obviously. And more like maybe even like some sign, like meetups, take pictures and stuff like that with the community. And, just first round management has been doing a really, really good job, Malky and my manager is Christian, Christian over there at First Round Management, and they've been doing a great job. Anything I need, they've been doing it. Yeah, so I have a couple law firms that just want me to wear their shirt and stuff like that. So yeah, anything you could think of that I want, those guys have taken care of it really well. And yeah, we're looking to make some more merchandise and some more apparel for Canes wear.
I kind of going back a little bit to your mentality, and I forgot to mention it, but your group text, it seems like, you're sending out motivating stuff too. So to other people, it's not just your love of the game or your work ethic or kind of your approach to the game, but you're kind of, making sure you help others along too. What is that like? And what are some kind of your philosophy or kind of your approach to kind of bringing people along essentially?
Yes, sir, for sure. I always try to motivate guys, because I want them to be like the type of person I am. My mom and dad always told me like, you are who you surround yourself with, you know? So I want those guys to be like-minded and have the same goals as me because I want to be around those guys, you know, those type of guys. So yeah, that's just kind of where my head's at with that. Yeah, I just try to, you know, motivate them and just tell them that nothing's ever going to be easy, but it's very, very doable. So just keep pushing and just stay the course, have faith in God, keep God first, and, you know, just stay on track.
What do you expect the off season to be like for you personally? Again, you make the jump into year two. You've always kind of, taken a serious approach to off season workouts and to get better. You touched on earlier about your season. It's been essentially been good, but it's not where you want to be. You want to keep getting better and keep being more productive. So what are you kind of envisioning the off season looking like for you?
Oh, nobody has any idea what this offseason is going to be like. This offseason, I honestly can't wait for it. I'm going to work extremely hard, so I'm going to work extremely hard. I'm going to be with Coach Bo down in Miami, ID Smith, be with him, Kevin Allen, Sly Johnson from Premier Athletes, guys like that. And those three guys are really going to, build me this year to be the best player I could be, the best man I could be. And I'm excited. Just put it that way. This is the hardest offseason I'm ever going to work.
Is there something in your mind? Look, you're always players are always trying to continue to improve during the season, but it's just a different focus for the off season. It's just the way it works with scheduling and things like that. But is there something in your game that look, I really want to sharpen up this area in the off season that, again, now that you've played a full season, how to roll, now that you kind of essentially know what it takes, is there something that you're looking at, like, I can't wait to really hammer in there on this and really emphasize on this area?
Oh yeah, well, for sure. My speed, I'm trying to be the fastest person I could be, routes, hands, all that. And I'm really going to try to focus on my body this off season, trying to get my body right. Trying to be a professional, Coach Feely always says it, be a professional. So whether that's treatment, eating right, diet, working out hard, I'm just definitely trying to focus on my body and speed.
Yeah, it sounds good. I'm looking forward to hearing how progress goes in the off season. Xavier, like I said at the beginning, I appreciate you taking the time. Went through a lot. There's a lot to get to. So it sounds like things are going well for you. So I appreciate you once again. And take care, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Appreciate you.